Don't get caught with those impulse buys. They got me the other day. Go in there, buy a couple things. Man, you're sitting there and you're like, all right, let me grab this, this, and this. Right there at the register, man, there's another $12. So those impulse items are there, but be very smart when you're doing it. Again, stick to that budget. Don't go establish a new card. Remember, new cards, new debt equals lower credit score. So when you go into that store and they're like, hey, would you like to apply for a credit card to get 10% off? Well, we already know, according to credit, right? Any new debt is 10% of your credit score. That's going to have an effect. But even more so, it's your credit utilization is 30%. That's the second highest part. So 40% of your credit score, when you go get a new card, is being affected. So what you've got to know as you're going into this season as well is make sure that you know what your credit card limits are. Because you don't want to be going over your limit and then getting a penalty. And you don't want it to hammer your credit score. Now, if you maybe got one card that you're going, hey, I know when I use it here, I get points. That's all part of when you're sitting down making that budget. That's being an educated and a smart consumer. You could spread the wealth amongst different cards, but know what those limits are. Because if you put $900 of your $1,000 spend on one card and you've got another one out there with no spend on it, well, that's going to have an effect. So know what those are. You know what you do, too, before Black Friday comes? This was our zero tip we gave a couple weeks back on how to improve your credit score with zero money. Call those credit card companies that you've got. Ask them for a limit increase.